My husband died in February. In June, I found his journal from 2 years before we met. He had written a detailed scene of his future wife. Every single specific detail was me. My husband kept journals his whole adult life. Cheap composition notebooks, labeled by year, sitting on a shelf in his home office. He never hid them. I never read them. I figured they were work notes. Nothing that was mine to touch. Eli died on a Wednesday morning in March. Sudden cardiac event at 44. He was pouring coffee. 3 months later, I finally walked into his office. I needed a warranty document because our dishwasher had broken, and I needed something mechanical and ordinary to do, or I was going to completely fall apart. I found the notebooks. I started with the most recent one. Then, for a reason I still can't explain, I pulled one from the shelf labeled 2 years before we ever met. When he was 29, I was 27, and we were strangers living in different states. I found an entry from that spring. He'd gone to a wedding alone, and it had made him think about what he wanted. He didn't write a list. He wrote a scene. A specific, detailed scene of the person he was hoping for someday. He wrote that she would be the kind of person who walked up to whoever was standing alone at the edge of a party and introduced herself. I do that. It is the single most consistent social habit I have had my entire life. He wrote that she would be serious about her work in a way that wasn't performed. 3 different bosses across my career have used almost that exact phrase about me. Serious about her work, not for show. He wrote that she would laugh without covering her mouth. My mother spent years trying to correct this about me when I was a teenager. She never could. I've never been able to make that habit stick no matter how many times I tried. He had not written down a type. He had written down a person in small, specific, behavioral details that would mean absolutely nothing to a stranger and meant everything to me sitting on that office floor. I called his sister and read her the entry over the phone. She went quiet for a long time. Then she said, "He always told us that when he met you, he recognized you. We never knew what he meant by that." I've asked myself 100 times whether I'm projecting, whether grief is building meaning out of coincidence, whether I'm a widow who needed to find something and simply found it. Maybe. I don't know. What I know is that I've read that entry 47 times now. I know exactly what it says. And I know that somewhere in an ordinary March, 2 years before we ever crossed paths, my husband was sitting alone at a wedding writing about a woman he hadn't met yet. And every detail was me. His sister told me he used to say that loving me never felt like a surprise. That it felt like something he'd been moving toward for a long time without knowing it. I believe in patterns more than fate. I think Eli spent years getting clear on what he needed, and when I walked into a room, his instincts recognized the match before his brain caught up. Or maybe love just works like that sometimes. Maybe some people spend years quietly building the exact shape of a door, and then one day the right person walks through it and fits so perfectly neither of you can explain it. I keep the journal on my nightstand now. I haven't put it back. I don't think I ever will.